Our future in thy hands, united, free for liberty, together we'll always stand.
Thank you so much. I'm the U.S. Army.
Oh, say, can you see by dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Though the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bursting gave through the night that a flood was still there. Oh, say the star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good afternoon. It is a high honor and privilege for me to be here with you today. It is even more a high honor and privilege that we are all here with Bobi Wine. Because a few weeks ago, the Ugandan government attempted to kill him. And it is only by the grace of God that he is here. Only by the grace of God, because the beatings and the torture he suffered, which I feel now that I've witnessed, having heard it with the authorities here and international authorities who've been listening to exactly what Ugandan special forces did to a political opponent at the instructions of the leaders of the country. Let no one believe they avoid responsibility because some soldier did it. It is no soldier. No soldier in that country doesn't work without the authority of the president of that country. We are saying now, and we are calling him out. We are saying to the president of the country, you are the guarantor of his safety. If anything happens to that man, Mr. President, it is on your head. There is no excuse for a torture squad to be led by your son in Uganda. There is no excuse for pliers to be found on the bodies of your special forces to extract untold sadistic revenge against your opponents. We want to know about the poisonings that have occurred in the past. We want to know about the kidnappings that have occurred in the past. And we want to know about the murders that have occurred in the past. Because if that is the way to fight for freedom in your country, President Museveni, then something is seriously wrong in Uganda today. And I have news for you. The European Union, the European Parliament has announced that they don't want to be complicit with murder anymore. The State Department has announced They have said they are deeply concerned about the abuses being carried on by the government, and that means the president of the country.
Yes!
We cannot avoid where responsibility lies, and we know with whom it lies. He can buy all the lobbyists, he can buy all the media he wants. The truth is out, we know it, we hear it, this man is witness to it, and we won't let him get away with it.
No, we won't.
Now, we know that he does not stand alone. He stands with 33 others who were wounded and assaulted and tortured on August 13th.
Yes!
We don't forget them for 1 minute.
No, we don't.
And what Bobi says, I completely agree with. It is not about him as an individual. It is about him as a representation of the youth of Uganda.
Yes!
Are struggling for their jobs, for their education, for their self-respect, at a time when all of the money that goes to Uganda seems to be going to others.
Go on.
So let me not take up your time when we have Bobi Wine with us, but let me say thank you to all of you for all of the expressions of appreciation for Bobi and others who have so heroically waged a battle for freedom and democracy in Uganda.
Yes.
And let me just suggest to everybody that we all understand that when he gets on a plane to return to Uganda, he needs God's protection. And we need the international community to know the government will immediately attempt to detain him. We need the international community to be watching out with Bobi, for Bobi, on that day as well. So thank you very much for coming, and I turn it over to Bobi.
So we're going to kick off our town hall meeting, and I would like to let all of you know that this is a town hall meeting. All views are welcome. It's not a political rally. So I encourage people not to feel afraid to speak up. If you have a question, it's your time to speak up. So I'd like to start by introducing our moderator, Ms. Arawa Meni, who is a journalist and also teaches at the University of Baltimore. She will kick off the town hall meeting today. Thank you so much again for being here.
How's everyone doing today? First of all, I'd like to thank Honorable Robert Chagulani for making time to meet with us Ugandans here in the diaspora. I'd also like to thank Ugandans and friends of Uganda. Despite your busy schedules, you made it a point to come out here to listen to Bobi Wine and also to listen to what's happening in our country, Uganda. Just a quick thing about me. My name is Arao Ameng. I'm from northern Uganda, Europe, to be exact. I live here in Maryland. I'm a graduate student at the University of Baltimore. I'm also a lecturer. I'm also a professor there. Museveni was been president since I was also 4 years old, so this matters to me just like you. I'm so happy to see all of you here. Thank you so much for Bobi Wine for coming here and meeting Ugandans in the Washington, D.C. area. We appreciate you, especially under the circumstances, taking time to meet with us and have a conversation with us. I'll kick off the first question and then I'll leave it to the audience. First of all, how is your health? How are you doing physically and mentally, and how How have these unfortunate circumstances in our country changed you?
Thank you very much, my sister. And indeed, you're my sister, because we tend to share the same plight. We were both 4 years old when we were apparently liberated, but right now we know that we are being taken captive. Yes! I will request that I take a few more minutes addressing you, ladies and gentlemen, because this actually happens to be my first opportunity to address fellow Ugandans ever since the unfortunate events happened. I bring greetings to you, ladies and gentlemen, from home. I am very glad to be here and to be alive. I cannot credit that to me, but I credit that to the many voices that were raised when I was in military detention. It was, I believe, pressure that caused my freedom, and indeed it was pressure that I was allowed to come to the United States for specialized treatment. I want to send my special thanks to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, individually and in groups, particularly here in Washington. We have a group called DMV, we have artists, we have individual activists, the friends across the world, in Kenya, in Nigeria, in South Africa. Protests were carried out across the world. I was humbled. When I was in incarceration, I did not get the opportunity to read a single newspaper or to see what was happening outside, out in the world. I must say I was humbled to see what happened, and even up to today, I'm still just trying to update myself because so much happened. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, because it was your relentless voices that gave, even though still temporary, but freedom to us. And indeed, it is your relentless voices that ensure that we are still alive. I was arrested with 33 other people, including members of parliament, and I eventually realized that even though so many eyes were fixed on me, so many other people got so brutalized. I cannot stop talking about the lady called Asiro. She had just had a baby by cesarean section, but the way she was beaten, man, it was terrible. There's another guy from Arua called Atiku Shaban. His back was shattered completely, and many others, yeah. And to say that the world might never know these guys, I always feel obliged to lift their plight. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are not the first. So many freedom fighters have faced the blunt rage of the state for so many years. And indeed, whatever I'm saying has been said before and continues to be said. I'm just glad that maybe this happened to me probably at the tipping point, probably when there are many other factors that can connect. And that is why we seem to be more, encouraged than before. But I thank all those that have been part of this, all the lawyers back at home and here, the Honorable Medat Segona, the Honorable Asumani Salirwa, the legal team led by Nicholas Opio and all these other lawyers, fellow leaders, fellow citizens, the lawyers here led by Robert Amsterdam. Guys, I'm sorry I cannot mention everybody, but I want you to know that on my behalf and on behalf of the oppressed people back home, we do not take your concern for granted. We really, really, really appreciate. Thank you for standing with Uganda. Thank you for keeping your eyes on Uganda. And thank you for being on the side of justice. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am feeling much better. As you could see, I can even talk confidently. I can even afford to smile. although I know that our country still faces a lot of challenges, although I know that even as I speak here, I believe that I'm only echoing the voice of millions upon millions of Ugandan people that for so long never thought that their voices can be listened to, that for so long felt like they were crying in the dark. So, I am here not just to give you a lecture, ladies and gentlemen. I know that the cream of our country is actually living in the diaspora. I know that we have very many knowledgeable ladies and gentlemen here in America and indeed the world over who left their home, not because they want to leave their home, but left because of the challenges that we face home. So I'm not giving a lecture or whatsoever, and I know that I cannot outline all the challenges of our country, but I know that you know as well as I do, or even better, about the failed, system that we have back home. You know that many of you are so knowledgeable, are so talented, and indeed so educated, but could not find a job back home, or could not put up with the broken healthcare system, or could not tolerate the insecurity that was and is still going on back home, or could not tolerate all the injustices that are going on home. That is why many of you left home. But I believe you love your home. I believe you want to be home. So that being a challenge, ladies and gentlemen, some of us that were not lucky at that time to leave the country thought that we could stay home and struggle right from there. Many of you know that I spent so many of my years as a comfortable artist, and having been a successful artist, life seemed like it was okay for me until the injustice came biting, and just like it is for everybody, they always feel comfortable until reality bites. When I was here, I talked about my very, very good friend, the late Moses Radio. I still reflect back to him. We always had a conversation, and I always argued. He was an intelligent guy who always advised me to stay with my music, enjoy my music, and move on. But I always reminded my very good friend, God rest his soul in peace, that a failed system does not segregate. When you get an accident or when you get a problem and you're faced with a non-functioning healthcare system, your life is equally going to be in danger like the other people. And indeed, that is how it is. So that is why we stood up, me and my friends. And that is why we still encourage other Ugandans to stand up. So that is our struggle. What is our struggle? Our struggle is to make sure that we use all the abilities that we have to improve life at home, to make sure that there is a difference, at least in our lifetimes. Because we know that there was a time when Uganda was better than it is. Because we know that there are countries that are less naturally endowed than our country, but they are living better. Because we know that even when we come to these developed countries, we see that they are the way they are according to the way they are governed. I was walking on the street and arguing with my young brother, and the whole, street looked like some rich man's compound. And he was asking how that happens. And I told him that the people that are charged to maintain that actually do it. And if they steal that money that is supposed to be for the betterment of the country, the people of America are confident enough to stand and hold that person accountable. And I also told him that here in America, whether you are rich or poor, you equally enjoy the wealth of the country. If you're a poor man in America, your poverty only stops in your house. When you walk out of your house, you enjoy the wealth of the nation, just like the other rich guys. But unfortunately, back home, even if you're a very rich person, your wealth only stops in your house. When you walk out of your house, you start suffering with the poverty of the entire nation. And that is why we struggle to make it better. That's why we encourage other people to make it better. So, how do we think we're going to struggle to make it better? I've said it before, and my good friend Robert has said it again, that this is not about me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not about me. The last time I was here, I was just as confused as the majority of young people, home and here. We did not know the immediate solution. So, through the conversations, the casual conversations that we hold with friends in Uganda and abroad, and indeed when I went back home and in a detailed way analyzed our problem, we realized that it will not take just one person. So many times we have trusted people. So many times. And I'm here not just as another liberator, because I'm not. I'm here as one of you. And that is why we decided to come up with the idea of people power.
Our power.
The idea of people power is to call upon all of us, regardless of what tribe you are, regardless of what sex you are, regardless of what religion you are, and yes, regardless of what political party you are. Our country today is split between two types of people, the haves and have-not, the lucky few and the unlucky majority, the oppressors and the oppressed. You realize that our country continues to be held hostage by a group of people who subscribe or who are close to the president. Many people are oppressed from across the divide, from all tribes, from all religions, and yes, from all political parties. People continue to be oppressed. And we believe that it is not going to take only one person, not even myself, but it's going to take all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, our history shows that for so long we have put our trust in individuals, only to be enslaved at the end of the day. And we believe that our nation does not need another strong man. We need strong institutions that serve not another strong man, but the people of Uganda. How do we plan to achieve that? We are only going to achieve that by coming together. When we say people power is our power, it means that that people power only works when we stand together. We recently had an example. I personally was not there. I was held incommunicado. But the people stood, everyone in their corner, everyone played their part within Uganda and outside Uganda. And you saw what happened. That is what made it possible for me to be here in Washington today to talk to you. So I want to emphasize that it's not about me. It's about all of us. Even when I'm held incommunicado, even when I'm in prison, or even when any of you is in prison, they cannot imprison all of us. They cannot shut all our mouths. If we continue to stand for what is right and continue to encourage each other, we can overcome the challenges we face. So people power is our power as all the people of Uganda and all the friends of Uganda who stand on the side of justice. I must emphasize that the regime back home is so scared of the people. I've been telling it to my friends back home that the people that we are scared of are actually more scared of us. Yes, they are. Because the guns they hold actually belong to us, and those guns are supposed to protect us, not to torture us. Our army is supposed to take care of us. Our police is supposed to guard us, not to torture us. But we are only going to achieve that if we emphasize our voice. I must also note that there has been a deliberate move by some elements of the state in Uganda to demonize the idea of people power, to baptize it on me alone, and yes, to create an identity that we are a criminal group, to create an impression that we are hooligans, and yes, we have been named terrorists. I want to emphasize that we believe in peace. I want to emphasize that we are peaceful people. We don't believe in violence. We despise violence. But we believe in the superiority of our constitution. And I will remind you that Article 1 of our constitution states that all power belongs to the people. All power, not just some power, but all power belongs to the people. And we are the people of Uganda. We are the representation of Uganda as the people of Uganda. So, I want to encourage you and all the friends out there to always be peaceful, but very assertive and very confident, and always to emphasize that people power is our power. We are not anything else, but we are pushing the idea for Ugandans to believe in themselves. I also want to remind you of what we stand for. Many times I told friends that I don't want to be identified just as a politician. Because back home, the word politics lost meaning. The word politician almost lost meaning. And indeed, that was a tactical way of getting people, especially young people, to be far, to distance themselves with the way their country is being governed. Because they always called it politics. So, I want to call upon all Ugandans to always keep an eye on the way they are being governed, on the way the affairs of their country are run, because that determines the price of sugar, that determines up to how long you live as a human being in Uganda. We as the people believe in people power. We stand for justice. We stand for equality. We want to see Uganda where everybody is equal before and under the law. So many of our friends have gone to school. We have taken away all our parents' resources to give us an education. But many of them keep being shipped away to enslave themselves in foreign lands because there's no opportunity back home. We want to have a Uganda where we have equal opportunity. Yes, we want to have a Uganda where we have equal opportunity no matter which family you come from, no matter who knows you, no matter what tribe you belong to. We all want to have a country that works for all of us, where there's transparency, where the resources of the nation benefit all of us as a country. That is the Uganda that we believe in. That is the Uganda that we want to be in. But yes, we know that some people are are excessively enjoying and abusing the wealth of our country, and something must be done. So what must we do? In my opinion, I believe that we must continue working harder. We must speak more. We must agitate more. And we must raise more of our voices. Of course, many people have raised questions of what kind of policies we want to bring up and the like. But I want you to know that right now where we are, even the intellectuals that we have in this hall have no right or space to present their beautiful and intelligent ideas because the space has been closed. We intend to open that space. I will not talk for long, ladies and gentlemen, because I believe that what I'm talking about has been talked about so many times. You know what is happening back home. I would have been happier to just come here and sing for you guys. It used to be fun. I miss my old self, where I would walk in. Walking in my ways, with my swagger, and we would have fun. But I also know that when the rest are not free, we are all not free. I, however, have some encouraging news which I believe many of you know. For so long, we've been seemingly crying from the dark as Ugandans. But I'm glad that, like never before, the eyes of the world are fixed on Uganda. I'm encouraged that the fear that we've always had of being silently silenced and nothing happens is seemingly disappearing. I'm encouraged that the world is standing with us, but I'm even more encouraged to know that the people back home in Uganda are much more fearless than they were. The levels of fear are going down. They are more united, and we continue to unite across the divide. We continue to hold conversations with the other leaders from different political parties, and yes, including the ruling party, because they also have people that want peaceful change in the country. So we continue to come together as a nation. We continue to hold discussions about the future of our country. And I must congratulate the Ugandans back home and all the friends of Uganda. I would like to inform you, ladies and gentlemen, that I am going back home this Thursday. I am going to be in Uganda on Thursday. It's going to be a very long flight. I know that my family is worried. And my family now seems not to be just my wife and beautiful children. It's a big family, including many of you here. They've seen what has happened to the other freedom fighters. But I'm going home.
Yes.
I will be home, and I will deliver greetings from all of you. I'll tell them how good you guys have been to me, and I'll also deliver the greetings to all my friends, those that are in hospital, and those that continue to be incarcerated and in prison, like my good friend Eddie Mutwe, who was picked, tortured, and now he's also in prison, and many other freedom fighters. I would have mentioned quite much. I apologize for those that I have not mentioned, because I believe everybody that played a part and continues to play a part is worth mentioning. But like I said, this is not a lecture, and much as I love to talk confidently, I'm still having some pain. But I thank you for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen, for God and my country.
Bobi, before you conclude, I'm from Kenya. I'm from Kenya. And I do support your agenda in trying to get the democracy back into Uganda in terms of let's reflect on the economy and let's reflect back also on the humanity that this government is humanely treating people back home. For me, what you are doing, and my question to you is, how many of your opposition parties are there to challenge this administration? Because this is a military government that came and they're still there as military and as a family. You have the son as the chief of staff of the military. You have the wife also as a minister into that government. And you have a government that is purely, totally NRA, National Resistance Army. Now, if you are to create a democracy, how many of the opposition do you have who are with you, behind you? Because that's what we need. You cannot fight alone. You have to fight with other soldiers behind you. I really want to know if these other folks, how you, and if they really do support. Me, I support you from here. I'm ready to put it up. Right now, I'm going to put $100 on your table. I'm going to give that. Who was the microphone?
Thank you.
That's the only answer I did from you. Thank you, sir.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for the purposes of time, we're going to pass it over to the audience. I let my Kenyan brothers speak since we are landlocked. I have to be nice to the Kenyans. But we have a few ground rules. Please keep it very brief and civil. I'll give you 1 minute each since we don't have a lot of time. So we'll pass the microphone around, but 1 minute, ask a question. Let's not give speeches. Ask a question. I think we'll take about maybe 5 or 10 questions. He answers them. If we have more time, we can take more questions. So thank you so much again for coming in large numbers.
People power! Our power! Our power! People power! People power! Our power! People power! Our power! People power! Our power! People power! Our power!
Thank you so much, Nicole. So, I'll start. If you can please raise your hand if you have a question, we'll come to you. Again, keep it brief, keep it civil. This is an open space. All views are welcome. Let's ask him questions, let's challenge him, and let's listen again to his vision for Uganda. So, I'll start going around with the microphone. I'll take a lady and then a guy, right?
Thank you, Bobi Wine, for being here with us. I have a quick question. So, as a member of Parliament, a Parliament that stood by as you were, arrested, tortured, brutalized, do you still have faith in this parliament? And do you think you can work with the current parliament to steer the country in the right direction? Thank you.
Thank you for that brief question. Gentlemen?
Sorry about that. I'm not Ugandan. Yeah, I'm not Ugandan, but I'm here as an African. So. I just had a question. You talked a lot about freedom, liberty, justice, democracy, and for everyone. Does that include persons who are LGBT? Is that the future of your country? Are you looking to include everyone in your country? And to bring everyone into the fold, and to allow everyone to have a future in the state of Africa.
Welcome to USA, welcome to this area. My question is, recently I saw on YouTube, Ugandan government branding People Power as a terrorist organization. Based on the immediate history and what has just happened to you, what guarantee do we have as your supporters, as Ugandans all over the world, that will not be arrested right from the airport, or totally surrounded, your media, your telephones, all this has allowed to give no indication, nothing might happen to you. Because we care that you have led us to this point, we want to support you to the White House of Uganda.
Honorable Changwani, whenever you're ready to answer some questions, let me know. I'm going to keep taking questions. And whenever you're ready to answer them, let me know.
Honorable Changwani, we witnessed sitting of members of parliament. But here we are, being told that there is democracy. I think this is a veneer. What is your view regarding the parliament as it is instituted?
Yeah.
Speak. Oh, yes. Yeah. I said, we witness the beating of the members of parliament. Now, this is one of the august body in Uganda, as Congress would be. So we are still, in that friction that there is democracy and that we are going to work within this. How is that going to be?
Thank you. Lady, anyone in the back here?
It's just an opinion or an advice. We should build capacities right from the grassroots, because it's where this was having his life. Yes. Dada Bosco gets his votes from the grassroots. Let's build capacity from the grassroots, and we are ready to take on to the streets. If you go back home and they arrest you, I'm ready, I won't rest. People power!
Our power!
Okay, we'll take one more question, then you'll answer those questions, then I'll come around again.
My question to you, Bobi, is there's a lot of youth out here that are willing to come back to Uganda and join the freedom movement.
Yes!
But how can we be best part of it, and how can we join to fight for our brothers that are in Uganda? Because I have friends that I went to school with, and I lost a girl who was like a sister to me.
Go on.
Recently in the school. People that were in school. So, and we want to be part of the movement and fight for freedom, but how do we join? How do we integrate into it?
Yes.
Just to add on that, I'm Ugandan and I was immunized, and I just want to tell people that it's just very painful, and I'll mention it here, that when we stand up for people power, and when we call upon you Ugandans in Maryland, in Virginia, and in DC, you always promise that you will show up. When that day comes, for us to go on the streets, very few of you shows up. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for the very few that are so brave and show up. Those that show up, we don't show up because we are stubborn, but we do it for there's so many voiceless Ugandans that are tortured, for there's so many women that die every day because there's no medication, for the broken facilities, for the broken infrastructures back home. Uganda is our home, and our home is we. We are the Ugandans, and we are the Ugandan that we so badly need. We either stand up or we will cry for life. We better not cry, and we stand up for people power. People power, our power, our power, our power. Long live Bobi. Thank you so much.
Bobi, on top of that, the people in this room today, basically what he just said, he missed saying something very critical. Bobi cannot fight alone. Yeah. And Bobi cannot fight alone with his own money. You guys are here. We need a basket there in front of that table. I need a basket right now on top of that table. Anybody living in this room has to give $10 to $20 on that basket. I have given my $100. I want everybody to give $100 on that table before Bobi leaves this room. You see, yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go. Put that basket there. You make a comment and you put $100 in that table. Bobi will not fight Museveni without money. Border riders need to carry every passenger to every election conference, to every election, re-election, and election of the entire opposition to Museveni. We need money, 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 money.
Bring the money.
Our power. People power. People power.
Everyone, please.
Our power.
Sorry.
Please take a seat, please.
Yes! Money!
Excuse me. If we can all try to brace ourselves, please. We have a lot of commotion and confusion up front. Please, for the sake of security, can we minimize the traffic? If you want to donate some money, the cupboard is here to my right. Thank you.
Now you're talking.
Thank you all for taking a seat. Thank you all for taking a seat. Fellow Ugandans, thank you for taking a seat. Thank you for your cooperation. Now, I'll give the microphone over to Honorable Robert Tribulani. Hold on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the questions, and I believe there are more questions. I always like it when it's interactive. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not here to give you guys a lecture. I'm here to share with you because many of you feel exactly what I feel. Now, my Kenyan brother asked how many opposition parties are there to challenge the military regime. There are quite a number of opposition parties, and I believe more are being formed. But again, it's my deep conviction that the struggle we're involved in now is not about any particular political party. I said it before and I'm saying it again, that any political party that thinks that it is going to single-handedly liberate Uganda is wrong. it is going to take the effort of all Ugandans. I am happy that we are having the conversation with various political parties from the opposition, and yes, many members from within the ruling party who are progressive and want a better Uganda. However, I also want to note, like I said in the beginning, that I didn't come into this as a politician, because I was not, and I still don't want to be identified as a politician. I would rather be identified as a musician that is cautious enough to want to play part in the liberation of this country. So I am convinced that we must take it a notch higher and move it from just the politicians to the people. And not just a section of the people, but all the people. If the people of Uganda liberate themselves, never again will a single person will ever come up and claim that liberation. We are held hostage. We are held hostage by President Museveni because he constantly reminds us that he hunted his animal and now he's eating his animal. So we cannot believe in another liberator, be it an individual or an organization. Yes. We have to believe in it as the people of Uganda, so that if anybody in the future ever comes up to claim that he liberated us, we shall always remind him or her that we liberated ourselves. I also want to thank you for the contribution that you put. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also take this opportunity to inform or remind you that there has been a narrative back home from the state claiming that me and my other friends and all the people of Uganda that are agitating for their freedom are actually being funded by foreign forces. I don't receive no money from nobody, and as a matter of fact, ever since they blocked my performances, my shows, I am broke. So I don't take your contributions for granted. That guarantees another shirt for me to wear. I mean, I've worn this shirt for so long. I'm sure many of you guys know it. It guarantees airtime, it guarantees data on my phone. And yes, many of the activists are being arrested. And for those that are being bailed out, it has been so much money levied upon us for bail. Bail fees, 1 million plus. And when they arrest us, they don't detain us within the capital city. They detain us and charge us 300 or 400 kilometers away from the capital city. We always struggle to go there. We always struggle to put food on the table. And yes, we want this struggle to be by fellow Ugandans. So we welcome all the assistance that comes from you, ladies and gentlemen, because this is supposed to be a genuinely homegrown liberation struggle. My sister asked me if I still have faith in the parliament. I know that in every democracy there must be a parliament. Although in our parliament it's increasingly becoming more or less a talk show. Because many decisions that are made are actually made in the NRM caucus. I just introduced to Parliament for rubber stamping. But I also know that the Parliament is a critical platform for us to continue raising the voices. When I went to Parliament, I knew that that was not just going to be the solution. But maybe many people in Uganda listen to me with respect because I'm actually a honorable member of Parliament. Yes! So we continue to try to use every platform to forward the cause. My brother from Africa asked me that we continue talking about freedom, but does that freedom continue include the LGBT people? I'd like to say that right now in Uganda, all of us are slaves. The gun is the master and the citizen is a slave. And when they say people power, we're agitating for freedom of all of us as Ugandans. My sister asked me that after being announced as a terrorist group, what guarantee do I give them that I won't get arrested? I'm sorry, I cannot give you any guarantee. Anything can be expected from the state in Uganda. I mean, I just went to Arua to campaign for my friend, and I ended up being tortured and being detained in the military facility and being framed with the possession of machine guns and everything. So anything can be expected in Uganda. But I also know that the people of Uganda are standing with us. I am convinced that the struggle for freedom is not just limited to the people of Uganda or the people of East Africa or Africa, but all right-thinking people across the world. So I'm going back home. The rest will be details. My brother asked me how I deal with the illusion of democracy. Exposure, and more exposure, in my opinion, is the solution. The state in Uganda has been posing as a democratic state for the last 32 years. Where people that dare to raise different opinions have been met with brutal force. In Uganda, it is becoming increasingly clear that exposing the crime is equal or even worse than committing a crime. Although the state poses as a democracy, the reality is continuously being exposed. So keep your camera on and keep your eyes wide open, and then the world will see the reality. It will see the difference between what is being state managed and what is real. In my opinion, that's a solution, but I believe there are many other solutions, ladies and gentlemen. These are just the humble opinions from me. And I believe there are more opinions that if we continue, adding our minds together, there's quite so much that we can, come up with. Yeah. Another sister suggested that we build capacity. I agree with you. I don't even have a comment. I agree with you. We need to continue building capacity from all angles, from all fronts. And finally, there's a brother who suggested that Bobi can't fight alone. I cannot fight alone. I can't. We have to do this together. It is not about me. It is about all of us. It is about ourselves, our children, and our children's children. Only that we find ourselves at a more critical time. I realize that this is a turning point of our history, and we must not lose this opportunity as the people of Uganda to turn to turn our country and put it on the right path. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for the monetary contributions, and yes, we need them and we appreciate them. Thank you very much.
Can I just say something quickly? Ugandans living here, many of us are dual citizens. We're both Ugandan citizens and American citizens. Please go to your congressman or your congresswoman. Make noise. We live right here in Washington, D.C. There's something that we can do. Everyone has a congressman, a congresswoman, a community board, your local community organizations. We need to make noise about what's happening in our country. I came here as a teenager. I'd love to go home. I just went home recently to bury my grandmother. But what I do know is that my sisters and my brothers and my cousins They don't live like I live here. So we have to use your citizenship. Also go and vote. We are here, right here in Washington, D.C. There's no reason to stay home. I don't know the young man's name who said, when we come for events, show up, come for events. So please, go to your congressman, go to your community board, do something. You can make noise. So if you want to get politically involved in your community, please let me know. It's just time for us to act. We, as the Ugandan diaspora, have so much power, and we need to use it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chagwani. Do you have time for more questions? I don't know how you look in time-wise. I was told you have a flight to catch. Can we still take a few more questions? Okay. Just a moment.
For those who don't know me, I'm quite a veteran here. I start way back from Amin's time. And one of the critical people who helped us during Amin when we were agitating with the late Kaira, whom 7 killed, by the way, and no one has ever been found, we contacted the religious organization. One of the most important person was Bishop Walker. Some of you may know, and he was quite influential. So on top of what she's saying, contact the bishops, the Muslim clerics, the Catholic clerics, because they have access to your politician. And unknown to you, politicians go, kowtowing to these very influential people. So that's all I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want to give an opportunity to one of our elders in the community. He's been patient, and I think we should give him an opportunity to speak. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Your Honor, Your Honor, I stand here and you sit there. But, Uganda is a very religious country. You are sitting there, I am standing here. If it were to God, to have moved you to the seat, to have moved you from the seat, which your driver sat in, you'll be dead. And on that point, I want you, that whatever we do refer that what we do to God. Amen. And not only that, Uganda is a religious country, and we had so many martyrs. We don't want to die in martyrs, but we want to die normally. I thank you for being here. I thank you for what you have done. But I have a little note on what I'm saying. This young lady, can you stand up, please? Excuse me, can you stand up? Let's sit down, ma'am. That's my wife. Mr. Kaira took the hand and we've been moving for 40 years. In reference to that, what I want to mean, Kaira died, unfortunately, and murdered. And his case has been hidden. We are lucky you are here today, and you are going to be here tomorrow. And with the prayers from all these people, you are going to be home. And agitate some more. Say again, Kaira's case has never been brought to the face. Has never been. And you have been hiding it. I decided to stay here because Mr. Museveni stood face to me and wanted to eliminate me. So what I'm trying to invite and to recommend to you, don't give up. And can we answer? People power? Our power. Our power? People power. You hear those people? So stay with the struggle, and we'll be behind you.
Okay, we'll have a question from a young lady.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming. We pray you long life to really realize dreams of many Ugandans. You have talked about many challenges Uganda faces. However, the mentality and sentiment of Ugandans is to wait out Museveni due to fear of torture and even death. What strategies do you think is most effective for people to overcome fear and sustain pressure on the regime to effect change? Thank you so much.
Wow. First of all, I request my long-term friend, Pastor Okudi, seems to be also burning with the question. Although, considering the toughness of that question, I would have loved it to be the last, but maybe I'll take Pastor Okudi's question as well.
Yes.
Now, my sister. Okay. Please put a question, sir.
Okay. People power?
Our power.
Very important. You see, but as a pastor, okay, I understand that the process you're going through is exactly what Jesus went through. The only difference with Jesus is that he actually went ahead and died because he knew he would rise again. But for you, we're not sure whether you rise again or you die. Now, you are not a person. Bobi Wine, Honorable Chagulani is not a person, it's an idea. And when you kill a person, you are not killing the person, but you're just actually making the idea get bigger. That's why the person that took the bullet for you, that was your bullet. He took the bullet, and you just, God moved you out, but he was the sacrifice that God decided, okay, let him take the bullet. But we thank God that you're here. Now my question is very simple. We are going back to a nation where just last week we heard that one of the police commanders was killed, just in cold blood. And it looks like, from the way we see the news, it looks like it's no longer just the president that's responsible for people being taken out. It looks like it's has become like a mob justice where people just get up and say, we don't want that one, we don't want this one. Now you're going back on Thursday. First of all, we don't want to lose our leader because we want our leader alive. So my question is there a way that we can guarantee as the people that we protect our leader? Can we get an armored car to protect our leader? Because we are not the lions when we can see that the lions are getting ready to kill in the personal. Because anybody can assassinate anybody in Uganda, and there are no cameras, there's nothing, there's no satellite. You just walk and you pam and you're gone. So that's my question. And my question is and the last thing is there a way we can set up a people power hotline so that the money of the people is the power of the people? This money, if it goes into a hotline, that's a people power, that is not necessarily his hotline, but it's a hotline for the people. So in this way, we can get things done faster when there's money on the ground. Just other than just talking and shouting people power, we can shout with money louder. That's my question.
All right, so we have 2 more questions, unfortunately.
Excuse me, Mr. Bobi Wine. Are you scared that if you go back to Uganda, Bosiko will come for you? Everybody likes Bobi Wine.
All right, thank you so much. So,
People power.
Our power.
I love you so much. I remember having watched one of your campaigns when you were campaigning in Chadondo. And then you say that you were, you have money and they are going to make you poor. You're going to the campaigns, to the parliament when you're rich, and they're going to make you poor, and you can even lose your life. All right. You know you might lose your life. Okay. Do we have any other people like you, or like 10 people? Because what I know, they might disable you, even if they don't take your life. We cried buckets of tears, thinking you had died. We cried a lot. They told us you were dead. In fact, they said you were dead in the parliament. We have any other people like you. Because now we are contributing, we are doing all this. We don't know how you're standing, and our hope is in you. So we are just praying all that. Just tell us, just give us a hint. Even people are saying, Amatika, not go with an Amatika in your bed. They came to Kanyama side in his house. Maybe they hammer you yourself. So we are just requesting that you tell us, help us, because Uganda is a country where they can do anything at any time. They can take you, they can take anybody. So if you, for you, you're saying you don't mind that. If we lose you, what are we going to do? We have any other people like you. I'm not saying you're going, but we have any other people like you. We miss you.
So one last question.
I'm going to keep it short. My name is Priscilla, and I am a teenager. Okay? I am not 20 or above. I am 16 years old, and I'm standing with you. And my biggest question is that I have friends in Uganda, because I just came, I've been here for like 3 years, and I have friends in Uganda, and they're scared to stand up. They're scared for their families. How do you plan on empowering them? Do you, are you going to go to schools to talk to them? Because they have schools, they have studies, but they are scared. Because if God forbid war comes in Uganda, what are they going to do? How do you plan on empowering them to stand with you? Because youth are there, yes, but us teenagers are here too, and we support you forever.
Go Priscilla! Go Priscilla!
Yes, and please, how do you plan on empowering them? Because they're scared. And what we do is very little, but we need you, because we need you on the ground too. Please, how do you plan? Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Tambani has to make a flight, so he has to leave at 2:30. So he has 2 minutes to make his final remarks. We are going to stay here and continue to exchange ideas. So please, let's make sure he has time to make his final remarks, so then we can stay and move forward. Okay?
I rarely come this way, and I really feel bad when somebody has a burning question and there's no opportunity. It's my hope and prayer that maybe among the many questions that have been asked, maybe my sister that missed the opportunity to ask a question will feel addressed in one way or another. Because honestly, questions can never end. Now, my little sister, who is 16 years, asked a question: how do I plan on empowering the teenagers and give them confidence? That's a challenge, especially in a country where, allow me to call you kid, where kids who are teenagers have grown up in a country full of fear and are convinced that raising your voice against oppression means death. I think it's important and indeed incumbent upon everybody to demystify that fear by telling them the truth, by reminding them that they are the majority, and by telling them that the people we are scared of are actually more scared of us. They have the guns and the bombs and all the military wear, but they're freaked out, they're scared. So the young people need to continuously know that. That way, I believe it will slowly by slowly give them an idea of how powerful they are. And indeed, I also believe that we're not just going to teach by words, but by action. I am 20 years older than you, because I'm 36. And I believe that as a big brother, I should lead by example. I should do what I think you guys should emulate. And I'm glad that your generation is actually emulating it. So what we have done in little bits, I believe your generation can even do greater. So it is confidence, confidence, confidence. My other sister asked if they have other people like me. First of all, I want you to know that I am not a special species of person. I'm just like you, just like anybody else. The only difference is that I see what I must do and go ahead and do it. Maybe because I live in Uganda and I have no option but to fight for my country. It is more like, somebody who's fighting a little cat and push it to the corner and it has nothing to do but to fight back. And indeed, I've said it before and I continue saying it, that wherever I go, especially among the young people, I make sure that I try as much as possible to multiply this mentality, to plant this thinking in as many people as possible. Even in this hall, I pray to God that I be able to infect that Bobi Wine thinking with the people here, so that I leave other Bobi Wines in this hall. And I encourage you to also continue doing the same. The two little babies ask if I'm scared that when I go home, Bosika will come for you. They reminded me of my own children. My children are just that size. And every time I go back home, they ask me, Daddy, do you promise you'll come back home tomorrow? But I'm scared, honestly. But I have to be strong. And I'm strong. And I'll continue to be strong. And Pastor Okudu talked about an armored car. Everybody wants to be safe. But it's not just my safety that matters. It's the safety of the more than 40 million Ugandans. And finally, my sister, it brings me again to your question. It is still a hard one. You asked how we are going to overcome fear. Man, that was a question. I still learn every day up to today how to overcome fear. Because it's so frightening. I remember when that door was kicked with the 9 bar, was hit with the 9 bar and fell. And I came face to face with mean-looking soldiers pointing guns at me, and they started beating me up. I was scared. It was the last day I would leave. There's always fear. But I must remind you that people have been faced with fear before and they have overcome it. Nelson Mandela taught us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to overcome that fear. So we shall be scared very many times, but we must find a way of overcoming that fear. And actually, I also believe in when he says that even if you're not brave, pretend to be brave, because nobody can tell the difference. And indeed, it is what you pretend to be that you end up becoming. So let us start by pretending to be brave. And then we shall end up being brave. Because at the end of the day, it's the same thing. I thank you for listening to me, ladies and gentlemen, and I have a flight, so allow me to end this download this idea. Again, thank you for the support. The team, so many of them I cannot mention their names because I want them to continue being safe. Uganda will be free because oppressed people cannot always be oppressed. Thank you very much. Okay.